So about the gender-neutral bathrooms and why they're not funny. Imagine that you're in public and you're trying really, really hard to make everybody around you believe that your outsides match your inside. And so you go into a bathroom and somebody looks at you like you're not supposed to be there. They question, who is this person? And then you have to go into the bathroom and every time it's cringeworthy. Every time you wonder, if you're a cis man, you wonder, am I going to get sexually assaulted by somebody who doesn't understand? If you're a cis woman, you're gonna think, oh no, am I gonna make the woman next to me uncomfortable? And you shouldn't give a fuck, but you do because you want her to be comfortable, because you want to be comfortable. And all you wanna do is use the restroom because you have to do it 2 to 4 times a day, no matter what. And so those transgendered bathrooms exist because it should not be anxiety-inducing to go to the bathroom. You should not boycott Target because they want to make it less anxiety-inducing, right? We shouldn't say that they're family bathrooms with a man and a woman with a line down the middle because gender should not be a dividing factor. It shouldn't matter. We should have bathrooms where people are safe and comfortable, and we should have a culture where it is not worse where we don't paint transgendered people the same as people who would rape small children in bathrooms. We need a culture where my friend's Amazon phone does not autocorrect feminized to demonized. What the fuck, Google? Who at Google decided that wasn't okay? What kind of AI are they running that demonized is more popular than feminized? I'm not okay with that as a woman. You shouldn't be okay with that as a man. And my poor friend was definitely not okay when she tried to tell me that she was changing her GitHub to her feminized persona. That is not okay. And so it is not okay to make fun of a transgendered bathroom. I know why you're making fun of it, because I put a sign up that was accurate for its purpose. You noticed it was for transgendered people because I put a picture of a transgendered bathroom sign there with hashtag normal is a setting on a dryer. That was what you were supposed to get, that where none of us are normal. And instead, you got that it's funny that there's a bathroom for people who need it? What? Also, within UTCS, those bathrooms are generally locked, not because somebody is using them, but because people have been having sex in them. My blind friend who gets uncomfortable in public restrooms because people touch her while she's trying to wash her hands because they think they're helping? No, first. 2, she can't use a bathroom she needs. My friend who's transgendered can't use a bathroom where she's comfortable because you decided you had to have sex during school. Go back to your apartment or your dorm. It can't be that far. How dare you? And how dare the department be more uncomfortable with sex in a bathroom than they are somebody not feeling safe? That's not okay. There are a lot of things that are okay, but not that. And the only way that we're gonna fix it is if every day somebody goes up to the person at the front desk and says, hey, I'm not comfortable in the public bathrooms. Will you please unlock the transgendered bathroom? I know that it's not occupied. There is no one in there, right? I did that for a while and nothing changed. But if it's a different person, if it's not somebody they see as a problem because I've complained too many times about my blind friend not getting help, about the anxiety center not giving accurate advice or helpful advice, about the fact that we can't have tampons and pads in the bathroom because they're afraid people will take advantage of them. I don't know any girl who hoards tampons and pads. In fact, that's why we need them in the bathroom, because we forget, because we have accidents, because we walk out of the bathroom at 3 a.m. and realize the only people in the lab are people with penises. Nobody there has what we need. And we can't have we can't have charged those things because the money might get stolen. To that point, not all women have vaginas, not all men have penises. So how awkward for the man, for the man who goes into a men's bathroom and there's never that option, even in public bathrooms. What are they supposed to do? Go into the women's bathroom where they're definitely not going to be welcome to use one of those machines? Ask a woman passing by, please will you take this quarter and go into the restroom for me? No. Plus none of us have quarters now anyway. Like, why don't those machines take credit cards? Anyway, so that is why transgender bathrooms are not a joke, and also why transgendered people are never a joke. They're not a Halloween costume. They're not a punchline. They're people who are living life the best they can and who are not comfortable in their bodies. If you can understand wanting to be the different gender, I'm sure you can understand not being comfortable in your body, right? The social media in general makes all of us uncomfortable. It makes men feel skinny and women feel fat, and black women feel too curvy and Asian women feel too thin, and black and white women feel too not exotic. It makes us feel like we're not wearing enough makeup, like we're too short because all models are at least 5'10". Like the average woman in the US is not a size 14. I am not the average woman in the US. I am too short and too thin, and that's okay. I am thin enough to be a model, but too short because I'm not over 6 foot on a runway. I'm thin enough to be a model, but I never will be because my eyebrows are too thick, and that's not popular this decade. And that's okay. So surely you can understand looking at your body in the mirror and hating it, not because you have a penis when you should have a vagina, but because your stomach isn't flat enough and your arms, your biceps don't have enough muscles, or your penis is too small, even though that's the kind of organ that you think that you want, that you feel like you should have. That your hair is too coarse, that you have too much pubic hair or too little chest hair, which are things you can change, by the way, but other things you can't. That I want parts of my body to shrink and other parts to grow, whether that means I want bigger boobs and a smaller waist, or I want a smaller butt and a bigger penis. We all hate our bodies, right? Because we focus on one part at a time. We stare at our breasts and think, I look really bad naked. Surely you can understand that. And how dare you judge somebody for being brave enough to say, I'm going to change my body? We applaud women who go on diets. We are happy for men who go to the gym and work for hours and hours to get bigger muscles. But we're not happy for the people who try to change their bodies for something that they feel so strongly about. In Texas, if you're a transgendered person, did you know that you have to be diagnosed with gender dysmorphism to get the hormones to change your body to feel normal? Did you know that that means that you have to get diagnosed with a mental illness to get the hormones that you need? Did you know that most transgendered people get hormones from Canada and self-dose and ruin their bodies? My friend who's transgender thought, I can take all the estrogen I want because women have it all the time and it doesn't mess them up. Guess what? She thought that because she's a man, because she doesn't think about PMS and postpartum depression and all the other shit that women go through because our bodies hate us, because we go through hormonal changes literally 20 out of the 28 days of a month. And that 1 week where we don't, we are super horny because we're ovulating and we don't know what to do with those feelings because society has taught us you're not supposed to be attracted to the male body. You're not supposed to like the way he looks naked. Like, you're not supposed to know. You're not supposed to think about it. So that is why it's not a joke. That's why it hurt her so bad when you said that. So just think about it next time, please. Think about all the information that you don't have. Think about all the information. You probably didn't know that being transgender was still a mental illness in Texas. You probably didn't know there are laws in the books in Lubbock, Texas that say it's illegal for a gay man to hold hands with his boyfriend. You probably didn't know there are laws in the books that say if more than 4 or 5 unrelated women live together, it has to be designated as a brothel. You probably didn't know all of these things that you still won't know. There are so many things you still don't know. You probably don't know where a woman's clitoris is. You probably don't know where the lines are for a partial birth abortion. You might think, like Donald Trump does, that it is up to the last day. And that's just not true. There is no woman alive who would let that happen to her child. These women are not evil. They're hurting and their babies are trying to actively kill them. They know that they're growing a child inside their body. How could they not? They felt that baby move. But they make this decision because they have to, because they will literally die. And how dare we as a society take precedence over a baby who will likely not live than a woman who has had a full life and can continue to have one. How dare we judge the woman who has an ectopic pregnancy, which is when your baby is growing in a fallopian tube and not your uterus. That is dangerous. How dare we judge the woman who is having triplets and is told either we abort one of your babies or they all die and maybe you die too. It's a decision where there's no good option. There's just a bad and a worse decision. And to that mother, the bad decision is losing one baby, and the worst is losing all of them. That is why, even though I don't believe in abortion as birth control, I do think that we have to be careful. I believe in the sanctity of life, but I also think that the mother's life is more important sometimes. If a 17-year-old girl is going into toxic shock because her uterus isn't working and her baby might be killing her, she needs the abortion, and maybe her parents don't need to know. Maybe it's none of their business. Maybe their poor daughter was raped at a party and she's so ashamed and she can't talk about it because at her church they told her that nobody wants to use a used toothbrush, that nobody wants to eat a piece of cake that 5 other people have spit on. And she didn't make that choice. It was taken from her by a man who was taught he should have whatever he wants in a society that says rape is about sexual urges. It's not, it's about power. And rapists look like everyone. The biggest problem I've seen recently is I don't look like a rapist. You know what? 80% of rapes are perpetuated by somebody you already know. 80%. These are not tall black men in alleys. They are not Mexican immigrants on a railroad track. They are people that you know at parties that you're not sure if it was rape. That you convince yourself, maybe I let him on, maybe I did make him think it was okay. If you didn't say yes, it's not okay. If you couldn't say yes because you were drunk, it's not okay. Don't let anybody tell you that you just got drunk and made a decision you regret, because you didn't make a decision. That man made a decision that he should not have made. He made it for you. And if you decide not to report, that's okay. But if you do report, remember, when they ask you what you were wearing, sweetie, it's not because they thought you deserved it. It's because they need to know what clothing you were in so they can take your underwear to get semen samples. When they do a pelvic exam, they're not trying to violate you. They're trying to get semen and make sure that you're okay, that the damage he did was not long lasting. When they take pictures, I know it hurts, but it's because they need them for court. If there's a man interviewing you, politely ask for a woman, because a man just did the worst thing possible to you in a way that you cannot take back, in a way that you're going to need years of counseling to overcome, in a way that you are not going to be able to love your husband in a healthy and natural way unless you have years of counseling where this will be brought up over and over again. Do not let a man interview you during your rape stuff. Whenever this happens, make sure you call back in a month and say, did you test my rape kit? Because currently thousands of rape kits are sitting in cold storage. I bet you didn't know that, men. I bet you didn't know that thousands of women are waiting for the rapist to go to jail while he continues to rape young women, while he continues to think it's okay to go on dates with women and force himself on them. I bet you didn't know that thousands of women don't know what it's like to orgasm because their husbands don't wait. Their husbands don't know that women are crockpots and men are microwaves. Men try to turn dials. They don't know what it means to make a woman feel good, right? That congressman who thought that IUDs were causing swimming babies to be aborted thought that the anus on a woman's diagram was the clitoris. His poor wife, right? None of these men have all the information. They're making guesses. Unless you're talking to a male gynecologist, none of them know. By the way, the clitoris is right above the vagina, underneath a small layer of skin that you can feel more easily when a woman is turned on. So if you can't tell where the clitoris is, you're doing something wrong. Your poor wife, your poor girlfriend. You're doing something wrong if it hurts her. It is not her fault. She's not broken. She is not broken if she needs lube. How dare Ronda Rousey say that? We're not broken because we don't want to have sex. You're not broken if you never want to have sex. There's nothing wrong with you as a man if you don't get turned on by certain things. You're not supposed to like it, right? You're not supposed to like anything. You just have things that you like. If you can't talk to your partner about what you like, who can you talk to about it? If I went to my gynecologist because I was having pain during sex, and she said most women just grin and bear it. And I thought, what the fuck? Their partners are inches from their face and they can't tell that their partner is hurting? That's not okay. It's not okay to screw with your eyes closed, no matter how much you think you love that person. And it's not okay. None of that is okay. Like I said, there are a lot of things that are okay, but that is not. And if we make a culture where it's not okay, it will hopefully stop. My sophomore year, heard a man in this lab bragging about taking advantage of a girl at a party because she was drunk. What the hell? In a public space, he said, this girl got drunk and let me do this. She did not let you do anything. You did that to her. The next morning, she was crying on her phone with her friend saying, I think I got raped, but no one will believe me because I was drinking. When they ask you when the nice female detective asks you how many drinks you had, it is not because she's trying to shame you. It's because she needs to know for the course report so she knows what kind of sexual assault to describe it as. There are so many questions the police asked that I know we rail against. What were you wearing? Where were you? How many drinks did you have? But they're not asking them for the reasons we think they are. They're asking them because they need to. Because they need our clothing. If you get raped, do not change your clothes. Do not shower. I know that you need to get him off of you, but please wait 2 hours so they can get the information they need. If you're getting raped, bite him. Bite him hard so he bleeds so they have more DNA. It's not your fault. You don't need special nail polish to test your drink. If a man is going to roofie you, he will do it and you may not catch it. It's not your fault. We don't need special bike shorts that are harder to get off. We need to teach men not to rip off bike shorts. Men, it's not okay. It's not. You need to get consent, and that means yes. I know that it's not sexy to ask, can I touch you there? But you need to, at least the first time. Until you have a discussion what you do and don't like, you need to ask. At least the first time. I know that we think that sex is like the movies where you go from kissing to fucking in 2 seconds, but that doesn't happen. You'll notice in movies, they never ask, is this okay? But they should. We need to be seeing that in movies because that's reality. The current rule is if she didn't say yes, especially in California where they're getting their shit together, if she didn't say yes, it's rape. If she's under 18, no, actually in Texas, the age of consent is 17. If she's under 17 and you have sex with her, that's rape. She is not capable of consenting. If he's under 17 and you're a woman and you have sex with him, that is rape. Men get raped too. Men get raped by other men. Men get raped by women. Just because a man is turned on does not mean he wants to have sex with you. If he's drunk and you are not, that's rape. If you're both drunk, please just go home. So I have to go because I need to go home, but these are all problems. They need to be fixed and they're not okay. And we can't pretend they are anymore. We can't pretend we don't want to make the man next to us uncomfortable by calling him out on his shit. I don't give a fuck if he's uncomfortable. I am uncomfortable and I can't be around him.